Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the vlog. I have the truck here, as you guys saw in the beginning of the video. The front and rear bumper looks absolutely insane. It was truly worth the wait. I'm super happy to have the truck back after a little over a month. Just the quality and the craftsmanship, the design, everything's perfect about it. There's nothing that I dislike about it. Let me show you guys in detail up close what's all been done. Alright, so funny enough, my friend Steve, Design Hunt Tech, that's his company, he was able to utilize the stock front bumper valence. It's basically the plastic on the top that comes in the 1500s and 2500s. I believe the 1500s are a little bit skinnier and the 2500 is like, this part is like a little bit thicker. So what he did was basically chopped it in half, or trimmed it at least close to half. And he was able to utilize keeping it on the car, obviously, as you could see, and then utilizing part of just the design to work with the bash bar, the front bumper bash bar. It's actually really crazy because everything here has all just been quality TIG welds. You know, having the roll bar cut in a certain angle to just create that design and that flow. Having the mounts for the lights, and you can see the welds are just absolutely insane. It's kind of like a gusset almost, if you can think about it, like in a roll cage of a car. There's a gusset that's like on like the pillars. That's kind of the same idea, I guess, with this, but just specifically for the LED pods. And then I have wiring basically going to the front, and there's a little like terminal block circuit breaker that's like right here, and it just basically controls everything. I'll show you guys that in a second. But I got the off-road lights and basically my not my chase lights, but my high beams, or whatever you would want to call it. It's just good to have like a combination of both amber and white LEDs. As far as the design on the bottom here, there's supposed to be a plate. He's actually cutting that up this week. He's gonna ship it back to me, and I'll basically throw hardware on here and attaching it on like that. But the purpose of this is that you can quickly disconnect the bash bar if you need to. It's really just 4 bolts there, and then 1 bolt here that's going through. So really easy design in order to take it on and off. The skid plate, of course, just having just hardware just surrounding the skid plate. If I want to ever change it out, it's just a nut on the other side of this that's holding it. And you know, if it ever gets damaged or I need to repaint it, I could easily just pop it off and spray paint it again. You can see from the bottom little gusset design here, it's super thick. It's actually crazy. Like, I could jack it up from here if I wanted to, but it just goes straight to the subframe of the truck, and just everything about it is just super solid. You could tell this thing can literally, I feel like, break rocks. That's how solid this thing is. But I'm super happy with how it came out for the front bumper, and the rear bumper is a whole different story. It looks absolutely insane, but it really changed the look of the truck. It gave it that pre-runner off-road style look that I always wanted. And you know, honestly, I did think about getting like bigger fenders in the front and rear, but with the little fender flare that it's got going on, that comes in the 2500 HDs, I actually kind of like how they are right now, so I don't think I'd want to change it. Plus, these are metal, and the bigger fenders are fiberglass, and I definitely don't want that, especially if I'm gonna be, you know, like taking it to the trails, off-roading, camping. I just want something that's more solid, and obviously you can't get more solid than the OEM metal fenders. So otherwise, that is the front. Again, super stoked about the design. This is a one-off, and no one makes 2500 HD Chevy Silverado like from basically off-road front bumpers like this. They're all usually for 1500s, like Dirt King and different like companies like that. So again, super stoked with it. All right guys, so this is basically the setup. There's positive and negative for basically the whole setup of the lights. These are the terminal blocks for positive and negative for each LED pod. These are the fuses. You know, I basically have 8 lights going on right now, so 4 in the front, 4 in the rear, and then of course the circuit breaker. So it's a really simple setup. The wiring was like very straightforward. Auxbeam provides a full instructions of the wiring diagram of what you need to do. So we were able to knock this out probably in like 30 minutes total, just to try to figure everything out and where everything goes. But super helpful instructions from Auxbeam. I would definitely recommend them for any switch panel lighting. Alrighty guys, so this is the rear bumper. Super clean setup. I'm really happy with it. It's not too much. It's not like it's sticking out too much. I think the design is sleek and subtle. The lip here, or the step here, is like not like bulging out too much. The lights, like they fit and flush perfectly to the surface of the rear bumper. The mounting bracket for the license plate lights came out really good as well. Everything was basically like machined and cut perfectly. And yeah, it's able to work with the stock hitch, which is actually crazy because one, it saves money. Instead of, for example, buying the one from Dirt King, that the hitch is a little bit higher, which means the rear bumper sits a little bit higher, like the cutout of the bottom. But you know, that was time and money that I didn't have, and Steve was able to make it work with the hitch that came with the truck. And you know, I don't need that much clearance because it's not like I'm gonna be off-roading this like every day. So again, to save time and of course money, and really just like a one-off job, it's phenomenal. And I really couldn't be happier with the overall result and setup. And of course he had to do a bumper cut or fender cut to kind of like make the line flow, just how like any other pre-runner off-road trucks are set up. They'll have like that fender cut right there. I'm gonna just have to get some fender liner or fender trim liner that will save these. Basically the raw metal will be hidden, and you know, you won't cut yourself, not that you put your finger in there or anything, but just gives it like a cleaner look. So I'll have to see if I have some extra ones from the FD that I put on and just throw them on in here. Otherwise, you know, this is super solid and steady, and I don't have to worry about anything. It came out really good. And then last but not least, to show you guys where I mounted the switch panel. So kind of like towards the right knee area. I figured I have the trailer brakes right here, so on the other side would be basically the switch for all the lights. I didn't have time to put like the overlay of the button on which button is what. I'll have to throw that on later tonight. But basically all 4 of these are the front and rear lights. So both the ambers in the front, both the white lights in the front, and then both the ambers in the rear, and then both the white lights in the rear. And this is all just one harness that connects to the bottom right here, and then feeding it straight to the hood that I was showing you guys earlier. Otherwise, you know, the setup, mounting this was really easy. It was just self-tap screws going to the bottom of the dash, and as well as the wiring harness feeding it through. Otherwise guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions on the setup and, you know, more in detail of like how, you know, Steve made this, or if he's still making any more bumpers like that, or if he's taking orders, I will drop a Instagram profile down below, and you can DM the account, and you can DM him and to see if he's taking any more orders. Otherwise, you know, go give him a follow. He's made different builds for different cars and different bumpers as well. So it's just all quality work. I would highly recommend it. And, you know, of course, supporting the homie as well. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it. I will catch you guys later, and I will keep you guys updated as always. See ya.